Okay, so I've moved along the coast a bit more from Overstrand. Literally I've taken the coast road and I'm now just coming up to Bacton, which is the next place I'm going to have a look. So just as we go into Bacton, we've got the Castaways holiday camp on your left, and then just after that we've got the entrance to another pay and display car park. It's quite easy to miss this turn, it comes up all of a sudden, but here it is. And it's basically a no frills pay and display car park, no facilities here whatsoever. But this will give you access to this part of Bacton Beach. The surface is a little bit uneven, but there you go. I'll park just over here for a second. There you are, Bacton Beach. Okay, so a fairly decent car park. As I said, it is pay and display, and it's probably going to be similar charges and to all the others. So I'll just give you a quick look at the board. Okay, so this is Bacton Beach, and we're back to the sand now. It's all pure sand along here, fairly shallow, and it stretches from here right the way around past the gas terminal where we just passed. That's Castaways Holiday on the corner there, and it's going to be your typical shallow sandy beach. Plenty of bass in the warmer weather. You're also going to get your flatfish, flounders, dabs, and you even get a few soles along here as well. So I'll put a little panel up with all the target species, tackle, baits, etc. to go with this. As you can see by those breakers, quite shallow, quite a way out. People who do well here are normally the distance casters who can reach past what must be several sandbanks. But yeah, not looking too bad at all here. If you're pleasure fishing, you no need to walk far. 50 yards you can be down there. You can see the high tide line down the bottom there today, which is just on this part here. Sorry, where are we there? That's the high tide line. So it just comes over that hump. There is places here where there's gullies that might fill in behind you, but nothing too deep that you can't walk through with wellies. So yeah, that is Bacton. There is another access point a little further up the road that almost becomes Walcott. So I'm going to now move on to the final venue for the day, which is a little further down the coast, and I'll see you when I'm there. Okay, we're just about getting near to Sea Pauling now, the village. Once we get in the village, it's pretty straightforward, straight down to the car park. Seem to have left that dark cloudy weather in the distance, and it's quite bright and sunny here. So yeah, what I intend to do is I'll park in the car park and then have a wander down onto the beach and show you the mark. Now this, I would definitely say, is not a winter venue. I'll put this down to a spring, summer and possibly autumn venue, because predominant species here are going to be bass, and you'll see why when we get down there. So what they've done at Sea Pauling is they've divided the beach up into sort of bays, which are covered at the front of the sea facing side by reefs of rocks. So it's made like individual bays, and the actual flow, the main tide flow, doesn't come into these bays. It obviously goes past the front, and so I would think that affects what sort of species get in there. It's predominantly bass, I would say, in there. Flatfish as well. There's been some nice flounders caught. I'm not saying you won't catch a whiting in there this time of year, but let's have a look. Okay, so as you can see here, it is pay and display parking, so I'm just going to spin round into the end here. Okay, so just for convenience today I've parked in the cafe car park, which is there, where you can get nice food and drinks. Got some amusements over there, got a pub just around the corner, fish and chips, everything here. So yeah, I've paid in it. It's £1.50 per hour in here, which is going to be a little bit expensive if you're staying for an 8 or whatever hour fishing session. But over there you've got a long stay one, so you can see there it's £7.50 all day, so that'll probably be the way to go. As you're coming up the slope there, you've got a set of public toilets there as well, which is handy. Sea Paul independent lifeboat there, and as you can see, there's one of the reefs sticking around. They wrap round in like a curved shape, which normally makes the sea inside a lot calmer than normal. Sandy beach again. So I'll say they're not reefs, they're actually like partitions that go along, so it's still exposed to the full sea, but they must stop the tide flow a little bit. When you see other views of it, they're almost like bays, and these stretch down. I think there's 3 to the left and probably another 4 or 5 here, so plenty of sandy beach to go at. So also the cliff at the back here provides a little bit of shelter from that wind coming from behind, so it tends to make everything look a little bit flatter and a little bit calmer than it actually is. So species here, as I said before, predominantly bass. You're going to get flatfish, whiting this time of year, no doubt at all. I know that in the summer that people go out on boats and sibs behind those reefs when the water's a lot clearer and warmer, and they lure fish for bass. So I think it's quite prolific. So that basically wraps up today's few little guides. As I say, didn't have the time to bring the fishing gear with me today. Does actually look quite nice here today, to be fair. Next time I'll be back on the beach, I'll be fishing as well, no doubt, and possibly be in Suffolk as well.
So as you can see, the majority of red pins on that map have all been covered. I do intend to cover Chroma Pier at some point. I just got to pick the right time when it's not too busy but worth actually fishing the pier. And also I intend to revisit Gorston, because when I done the guide there, the Gorston Pier was also closed, so I couldn't get access onto there. So I'll probably do both of those into a separate guide on their own. After that, we've just got 2 venues in the extreme west of the county, which is Hunstanton and Heacham, and those 2 will be governed by basically tide conditions. You've got very short tide times there, fishing times, and again that can be affected by the season, so I'll probably try and do that in the summer. That then leaves this section of coastline between Sea Pauling and Caister. Now the reason I'm not intending to include this into the guides is for 2 main reasons. Firstly, you might have seen on the news lately that Hemsby Beach has been suffering from a lot of coastal erosion problems. The storms have really been battering this part of the coast, It's even resulted in some people losing their homes. So these problems are nothing new, but they've been severely hit this winter by multiple storms in very quick succession. This has meant the beaches have had lots of machinery and extra people working to clear up all the mess, and in some cases they're even demolishing the homes that have gone over the cliff yet but are close to the edge. And the second reason I personally don't consider fishing this area between those stars is our furry friends here. Now these seals are present all year round, but just before Christmas to about the end of January, the adults start grouping up on this coastline for their breeding season. When they first arrive in early November, you could be talking about 2,000 plus adults spread over these beaches. Once they've finished having their pups, you're probably looking at about 6,000 plus. Now bearing in mind that these adults can eat 5 to 6% of their body weight each day, that works out about between 12 and 18 pounds of fish. That's an awful lot of mouths to feed, and we as anglers are then in direct competition for the same fish. Personally, I like to give them a wide berth and leave them that part of the coast. The fishing along there may be very patchy anyway, and you also run the risk of actually coming into contact with them, which is never a good idea, not only for us but also for the seals themselves. The other area that can have the same sort of seal problem is in the North Norfolk coast between Clyde and Hunstanton. Blakely being particularly busy with organised boat trips to go out and visit the seals on their sandbanks, so that's another reason I don't sort of venture up there too much. So I'd just like to thank everyone for watching and supporting me over this last 9 months, and I'll see you all again in 2024 for more of the same. Happy New Year!